Guess who just come and sat next to me and broke wind, didn't you? Yeah. I'm a guilty doggy. You jumped, didn't you? No, wasn't me. Oh, gorgeous. You're so pretty. You doing some gift wrapping? Yeah. We'll wrap you up, shall we? I don't tell you for Christmas. You're cute. You're cute. You're so cute. My little sweetheart, aren't you? No? You got hiccups? You big chunk. Oh, you doing Dave? Where is Dave? Oh, they're all falling down. Dave. There it is. You jump. Oh, the camera. You cannot eat the camera. You fatty. They smell nice. That's it, chunky bun. You big fatties. Oh, I love ya. Oh, yeah. Oh, go. No, you only have one day at a time. One day at a time. I am not a fan of being on camera when either I'm sick or I've got no makeup on or both. It's 8:30 at night and this is the first time I'm properly filming today. I'm so full. I think I've shown you what I had to eat and I ate it all except for 2 pieces of broccoli. I had 2 small slices of peanut butter toast when I eventually came downstairs. So I was awake till about 8 o'clock this morning, even though I don't feel well at all. Just some kind of viral thing. It's not flu because my body isn't aching. Like when I get flu, like my legs ache, and even though my legs are a little bit achy, it's not making me think I've got flu. I feel like it's some kind of virus. I don't know where I got it from. Probably when I've been in one of the supermarkets last week. Potentially touched something that someone who's ill has touched. I don't think I came downstairs till about 5 o'clock or something like that. It was really late. I've not had a shower since Friday. I had a bath, didn't I? Did I have a bath? I feel like I had a quick bath and then shower and washed my hair. Yeah, I definitely, yeah. My hair probably needs washing, but I'm going to do it tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully I'll feel a little bit better. So yeah, I was up and I think it got to about 5 in the morning and I was just like, what am I doing awake? And I couldn't get to wake because I'm stressed out and I don't feel well, and I was scared that I'd go to sleep and wake up feeling worse than I already feel. That's the problem with being sick. Like, even when you get rest, you get worse before you get better. And I feel like I'm going to get worse before I can start to get better. And I don't want to get any worse. I've not really been well since I had the flu jab. And I'm not saying it's the flu jab. I know I got sick after I had the flu jab. For about a week afterwards. But like, I've got a temperature. I've had the fan on all the time that I've been down here because I'm hot but I'm cold. I've got a bit of a sore, scratchy throat going on. I've had a hot honey, lemon and ginger. I really need to get some more ginger because it's getting a bit dried out. I've still got a little bit left, so I'm going to have another hot honey, lemon and ginger in a little while, but not at the moment because I'm so full. I think even having a drink would fill me up. I've only had 3 drinks so far in the 3.5 hours that I've been down here, but I don't want to keep drinking. I cooked for myself, so my dad probably expected me to cook for him, but some days I don't cook for myself, or if I do, it's something that takes 10-15 minutes and we don't like or eat the same things. And I used to always have to cook for him. It was expected of me. If I didn't do it, he would be really mean to me. And it got to about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, when I was cooking 2 different meals every day and he was coming in drunk and he didn't really appreciate that he had a meal. He would never remember what he'd had. You know, I could have just served him up a plate of bloody sandwiches because he just never really knew what he'd had, and he always expected it. And there was times when I was away from the house for days and I'd have to make his meals before I could leave, and it just wasn't fair on me. I was always having to plan ahead and make sure he had meals made and also had food in. Yet he's got a car, he's a grown man, but he wouldn't do it, and it, you know, it became too much. And then one day, I think I've told this story, he had a go at me because his food wasn't ready for when he came back in from work one day, because I'd changed my mind at what I wanted to do, and I went to the shop with someone, and I was at the shop when he came home and he wasn't happy that it wasn't ready. And it was around that time I stopped cooking for him every day. I think I still cooked for him at weekends at that point, but I didn't cook in the week, and I would get a lot of abuse for it. I got abuse constantly because I wouldn't cook for him, but we don't eat the same. And you know, it's like when I'm down, I don't always cook for myself, or I'll cook something at 10 o'clock at night. And I was always under pressure to get his meals ready for when he came home, because if it wasn't ready, I'd get abuse. So I would get a hard time because I was only cooking for him at weekends, and he was like eating a lot of ready meals, or he was getting a lot of takeaways and stuff, and he weren't eating properly. And we moved here, and I think I started to cook for him every now and then, and then I got a job, so I weren't always here, so I stopped cooking for him as much, and he didn't like it, and he'd always have a go at me, or he'd expect me to work shifts so I could come home in between shifts and cook for him. And I was like, you know, you've got food in, I can't, you know, I'm not going to cook for you, I'm not even having a proper meal, like I'm coming in and maybe having a sandwich. And there was a time when I started cooking for him again, and I think I did that because there was constant pressure to cook for him, and it was just really unfair that I was constantly having to do all this cooking. Because when I'm down or I'm sick, I don't want to cook. Like, I only cooked today because I wanted a roast dinner all week. It was all I thought about. I wanted a chicken one, and somehow I ended up with beef. And I didn't even do a full one because I wanted to do carrots and all kinds of things. But I just didn't feel up to standing in the kitchen chopping carrots and cooking carrots and stuff. But then I stopped cooking for him again, and he was living on ready meals, and I'm like, this isn't healthy, because I would get him things to go with it, you know, like if you got a ready meal and it was like a cottage pie on its own, I would get him vegetables so we could have vegetables. But he was like, he doesn't see why he has to cook vegetables, so he would cook the main part of the meal. Then he'd be like, I'm hungry, and he'd have a go at me, and I'm like, well, I've got you loads of vegetables, there's potatoes, there's all kinds of things that you could put with it. And he was like, well, I shouldn't have to do that, you should be doing that. And I'm like, no, you can't just live off ready meals. It's not in it, they're not healthy, they're full of salt. So I was like, I'm not going to keep buying ready meals, you're going to have to tell me what you want, like what meats you want, what you want to go with it. And he was always like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what to get, I don't know how to cook. He was suddenly pretended he doesn't know how to cook when he knows how to cook. But because he's had me do it since I was 12, he's not really done any cooking for himself, but he can cook. So he'll give me a shopping list, and then he'll ring me up and ask for other things that he's not put on the shopping list, and I'll get him whatever he wants. And there's always vegetables in the fridge, and every now and then I will get him, do you know where you can get a pack and it's pre-chopped, and you can either put it in the microwave, or you can put it in the steamer, or you can put it in a pan. And I've been getting him them to go with whatever other things he's asking for. I always tell him to put the slow cooker on before he goes to work in the morning, just throw some vegetables in, throw some chicken in, stock cube, whatever. I said, oh, you could put chopped tomatoes in, meat, grains, like you could put pearl barley in, you could put all sorts in. And he did it a little bit last year, but he's not been doing it this year. And I'm like, why don't you do that? Because he gets up hours before he goes to work some days, and he just goes on his phone, like on the internet and stuff, and he just won't do anything. I'm like, why don't you prepare? Some mornings he'll bake his chicken in the oven, either for the day, or he'll do whatever's in the pack. And then he's coming home, and if he's got a chicken breast ready, he'll either put it on a sandwich, because he doesn't think he should be cooking. He thinks it's my role to cook for him, and he keeps having a go at me and telling me I don't do anything else. But I do loads of things. Like, I don't show my whole life on here, but he doesn't. You know, he's just so disrespectful towards me, because he's like, you're not doing anything. And he tells people I don't do anything all day, when A, I do, and B, it's no one's business what I do. But he's just making me sound bad to everyone, and I don't understand why he does this. I've got this on my dressing gown, and it just seems really long. I'm gonna cut it off, I think. Oh god, I just got distracted. But lately, like, if he's not got anything cooked, he'll come home and like eat loads of, like, he eats cheese oat cakes, and he'll shove his face full of them, and then he'll moan at me that he's hungry, and he'll have a go at me saying that I should have cooked for him. But I don't even cook for myself most days, or if I do, it's something simple. He doesn't like what I cook. And also, why should I cook for him? I've been doing it since I was 12. Like, I shouldn't have to do all these things for him, because most days I don't even want to live, let alone cook. And like I said, I keep buying him these little packets of vegetables that he can just shove in the steamer, in the microwave, wherever. And he keeps wasting them, and it's really annoying and upsetting, because there isn't much money at the moment, and I'm going to the shop and he's giving me a list. He'll text me a list, and then he'll tell me stuff on the phone. So I'm looking at what he's asking for, and he's asking for more than what the money, like more than half the money, and it's meant to be 50% of the budget each. And also, what I'm having to do at the moment as well is I'm having to buy loads of bits of Christmas snacks and drinks and bits and pieces, because I know when it is Christmas, there's not going to be the money to do a massive Christmas shop. So I'm having to think and plan ahead, and I'm having to take money out of my food budget, not out of his food budget, out of my food budget. So I'm barely getting anything that I want. I mean, On Friday I've got more than I've gotten in weeks. I got the piece of beef, which we'll do today and tomorrow. I got the fresh fish, which is under £2, but I really couldn't afford to do that, but I wanted it. And I got a pack of chicken breasts, which were in the freezer, because they had £2 off, which I thought was a really amazing deal. And I got a pizza that was reduced, and that's the most I've spent on myself food wise in the last few weeks. But I've not got everything that I want for the week, and I've got £10 left, and I need to put fuel in my car, so I just don't know what's going to happen, because I'm under pressure to not only get him his food, get my food, and also get bits and pieces for Christmas, which he's already ruined. So no one has a clue. No one has a clue what's going on. No one has a clue how I'm feeling. But it's just like, I think it was yesterday or Friday, I was like, you know, you've wasted all this food. There was a lot of food wasted in the fridge, because he's shoving chips in the oven at the moment, because I got him chips the other week, and I keep getting more chips because he asked for chips because he had a steak. He's like, "Can you get me a bag of chips?" And I keep buying more chips. So he's just shoving chips in the oven every day instead of putting a pan on with some potatoes in or doing some vegetables. And I was like, you've wasted all this stuff in here. And it was like £4 or £5 worth of stuff. And I remember when I was in the shop, not the Friday gone, but the Friday before, feeling upset that I couldn't get myself any fresh food, and I had to get frozen stuff just so he could have some fresh vegetables. And then he thought it was funny that he'd wasted all those vegetables, and I didn't say anything to him, but I was in the shop trying to make the money spread, is that the word, and get as much as I could, and make sure that everyone gets what they want and everyone has a few little treats. And he just thought it was funny that he'd wasted all that food. And it's like, he expected me to cook Sunday dinner for him today because he saw I had beef in the fridge. And I know when he's listening to what I'm doing, when he thinks I'm plating up, he turns his TV down because he's waiting for me to tell him that his food's ready. And I could hear him, and when I came in here and I was eating, I heard him say to himself, "She's taking the piss, she's not cooked me anything." Then he blamed someone. I'm not going to say who he blamed, but there's someone who I go to for, who I talk to about some things, and he doesn't like that I have this person in my life, and he's going out of his way to try and stop me having this person in my life. And he isn't very nice about this person, and I'm finding it very difficult because he keeps telling me that this person has rung him up and said things about me, and I keep asking this person, "Have you said this?" And I feel horrible for asking because I know deep down they haven't. But my dad keeps saying that like certain things are being said to him, and he's just making my life really difficult. So, and then a little bit later on, because I went back in the kitchen because I did some frozen Yorkshire puddings. I didn't know they took 25 minutes. I'm not getting them again. Do you know the ones that are in the metal tray and they're just the frozen liquid? Because if you get the frozen ones that are already cooked, you just warm them up. I got the frozen ones that are in the tray, and it's the batter. I didn't know they took 25 minutes, so I had to go back in and get them because they weren't ready when everything else was ready, because I presumed they took 10 minutes. And then he went, "Oh, she might not have put a tea out yet. She might not have put it out yet." And then I came back in here, and it was obvious I was eating. And he went, "She's a bitch." And I don't know if he was talking about me or someone else, but it's just constant pressure, and like I'm having to talk quite quietly because he listens to me. horrible for talking about someone else because I'm the one not allowed to tell anyone anything. But it's upsetting. And it's like when he makes a sandwich or whatever, he uses the chopping board as a plate, and there's only one chopping board left in the kitchen, and we've got about 5 or 6, and there's only one fork, and they're all up in his living room because they just stay up there until he eventually brings them back down. And we used to have 2 big chopping boards and 2 small ones, and I prefer the small ones, hate the big ones. And I'd go to get a chopping board and there wouldn't be any there, and he'd have them upstairs, and I'd be like, can you bring them down, or I'll bring them down later, like, well, I need it now. And he'd have a go at me, he'd storm downstairs, throw it in the sink and have a go at me. And I'm like, chopping boards for chopping things up, we've got plates, so I don't want to use a plate, that's another thing to wash up. So then I bought a 4-pack of these small plastic ones. They're like 6" by 12" or something like that, maybe slightly bigger. And then I got rid of the 2 big plastic ones because neither of us used them. I think we recycled them. So now we've got like 6 small ones, yet there's only one in the kitchen because he's got them all upstairs as plates. We also have 2 plates each. We eat out of like pasta bowls. So he's got 2 and I've got 2, and both of his are upstairs. He also uses normal plates as well, depending on what he's had. But if he has a sandwich, he takes the chopping board. So there's loads of chopping boards upstairs. All the forks are missing except for one. And then he might bring 2 forks down. I'll be like, you know, there's like 8 or 9 forks missing. Oh, I can't see them. It's because he's probably thrown them on the floor down by where he sits. And like his sofa's close to the wall, so there's loads of stuff on the floor. And he also like throws his rubbish on the floor. Like he's got a bin next to him, like a normal size bin that you'd have in your living room, and it's always overflowing, and then there's piles of rubbish on the floor, and the room stinks. And I'm like, you know, the room smells. Oh, it's probably something that I've had to eat, and it's in the bin. I'm like, it's probably on the floor. Can you not empty your bin? Oh, I'll empty my bin. And it's not empty. There's countless empty bottles of pop upstairs, and it's just a mess. And there's like boxes of tablets on the floor, and it just really stinks in that room. And it's like not the Friday just gone, but the Friday before, I came home and I had chicken nuggets from McDonald's. I knew I was going to get chicken nuggets. I'd saved £5. I think they're like £4 something, and I'd saved like £5 something. And really, I couldn't really afford to get the chicken nuggets because, you know, like when you've not got much money to spend that on like an item of food, it's too much. But I'd not had much. I hadn't really treated myself in the shopping. The majority of the shopping was him and for Christmas, and I hadn't got much. So I thought, well, I'm having chicken nuggets. It's going to be about 10 o'clock, if not later, when I get home. So I went and got like the big pack of 20, and I was determined to try and eat them all, and I knew I wouldn't. So I was sat here and I was forcing them down. I got to 10 and I thought, oh God. And then I texted him. I was like, do you want some chicken nuggets? And he's like, oh no, I don't want any, because he thought I was cooking them. He only wants things if it's like instant. So I was like, no, I've got them here. So he's like, I'll come and get them, which surprised me because normally he wants me to take them to him. And I wouldn't have took them to him if he wanted them. He had to come and get them. And he come down, and I was in here, and he came and sat down next to me. And I don't particularly ever sit with my dad. I don't want to sit with him. And it smelled like something had either died or gone off. And I was like, what's that smell? It's like really, really vile. He went, oh, it's my dressing gown. I was like, oh, I thought you washed that. He went, oh no, I didn't. I went, you said you was washing it 2 weeks because it stank a couple of weeks earlier. And he's like, oh no. And honestly, the smell coming from his dressing gown, it was like rotting meat, or, you know, something had really gone off. And I'm thinking to myself, how can you actually sit wearing something that smells so disgusting? Like, if I put something on and it stank, I couldn't physically wear it, and I've never smelled anything that disgusting. And he kept talking to me, and and I'm like, it really, really stinks, you really need to put it in the washer. And when you're coming home and you're putting that over your work clothes, and then going to work in your work clothes, they probably smell of your dressing gown. Oh no, they won't. I went, yes, they will. I said, if I put something smelly on and put something on top of it, the item on top of it is going to smell of it. And I just don't know how anyone could get the dressing gown smelling that bad. And he did wash it the next day, but he put it on the short wash. He put it on the 30-minute one when it probably needed boiling or something. But when he left the room that night, all I could smell was that dressing gown. So I'm having to spray air freshener. I wiped the sofa down, and I could smell the smell in the kitchen because he'd gone in the kitchen. I'm thinking, how can you actually sit around in something that smells that bad? I don't do his washing, by the way. I've never done his washing. I take it out and put it in the dryer if it's in with my clothes. But he used to make me do his ironing, and I stopped that years ago because I didn't even iron my own clothes then. I do now, but I didn't then. But I'm not ironing his clothes. He gets a lot of his stuff done at the dry cleaners. Like, he goes somewhere that irons his clothes for him, basically, because he doesn't think he should have to do it because he's had me doing it since I was 12. And it's becoming too much because I'm down all the time, and I just want to be left alone. And I don't get left alone. I really don't. Oh God. I shouldn't come on here when I don't feel well. When I don't feel well, or I'm upset, or both, I end up talking about things that I'm probably not meant to tell anyone. It's just constant pressure, and it's like, I did all the shopping and everything, come home, put his shopping on the stairs, like his drinks and stuff, and 2 days later it's still there. And he's been downstairs, he's been upstairs, he's been downstairs, yet he can't just walk back up with his stuff, and I'm not taking it up for him. When my back was really bad and I could barely move and I was in tears all the time, he was still making me go and do the food shop, bring it all home, unpack it all, and carry his stuff upstairs for him, and it's not fair. I don't know why he can't take his own drinks and stuff upstairs. He's just getting more and more lazy all the time. And then he expected me to cook for him again. Just making me not want to eat because he just expects me to cook, and it's like 9 o'clock at night and he's not cooked his food. So he's probably either not going to cook something, or he's going to come down and put the oven on for the next 2 hours. So if I did want to cook something else, I can't do. And that's what he does as well. If he's cooking, he'll come home and he'll put the oven on for about an hour to warm it up when it doesn't need an hour. Then he'll cook in it for about 45 minutes. So for up to 2 hours, I can't use the oven. I can't cook before he comes home if I'm using the oven, because there's been times when I've got something in the oven and he's come home and he's flipped at me because he wants to put the oven on for him. So sometimes I'm waiting till 9, 10 o'clock at night to use the oven because, like, I say to him, just put it straight in and add 5 minutes on, because that's what I do and it's always cooked. But no, for some reason it needs to warm up for a good hour. It's 4:30 in the morning. I did film earlier, and then I started editing the vlog earlier on, and I was like, I can't be bothered with it. I'm really unwell. My throat's getting really sore and scratchy and dry feeling, and I've got a temperature. I've had that fan on most of the day until about an hour ago when I went cold. I've had a lot of painkillers today. and ibuprofen and my normal medication. I've not drank as much as I probably should have done. I'm still drinking. I'm probably going to have to take a sleeping tablet. It's 4:30 in the morning. The only problem with having a sleeping tablet at probably 6 in the morning or 8 is that you can't wake up for anything. Like, you'll wake up to go to the toilet and you're like, I can't open my eyes. So you end up just going back to sleep. You just can't physically do anything. But I'm tired, but I'm stressed out. And I'm feeling really down, and I don't know how much more I can cope with or take or put up with. I think my dad's just got up to go to the toilet. Doesn't like me filming or talking. Can't tell. I don't know if it's my dad or what. Just really, really down. I don't know what to do. And I know it looks shocking. That's how down I feel, that I don't care that I'm on here, unwell, feeling really down, anxious. I haven't had a shower since Friday, and now it's obviously Monday morning. Because I'm just struggling with how I'm feeling, and I don't feel well. I hate the fact that I've got a sore throat, and the sore throat's getting worse, which is never good. I hope I'm not getting tonsillitis. I don't know what I'm meant to do anymore. Head up. I'm so down. I think that's my dog. I think it's my dog getting on the sofa upstairs. Remember when I had tonsillitis 2 years ago, and it put me in hospital because I have an underlying illness, which I know is flaring up, I can feel it, and the tonsillitis wouldn't go because of my underlying illness, and I kept getting worse and worse and worse. I couldn't go to the toilet for anything, and I got so sick I ended up being rushed in on Christmas Eve, and my dad was furious with me. Nothing I do is ever good enough. I'm not allowed to get sick or end up in hospital because he just expects so much from me. It's hard the energy to even do anything for myself. And he's not happy that I didn't cook for him. He sat and waited for it. And then I went upstairs about an hour after I'd eaten, and he thought I was taking food up to him. I could hear him clearing stuff on the table in front of him, which he normally does when I'm walking upstairs with food. And then came back downstairs and I heard him talking to himself, saying that I was out of order. He just expects too much from me. I'm not his slave. Like, everyone else had a childhood. I had to take over from my mum when she left. I wasn't allowed to have a childhood. I just don't know how much more I can cope with. And I'm not allowed to tell anyone. I'm gonna go. Probably go to bed in the next hour. God knows what time I'm gonna go to sleep. I need to take a sleeping tablet. I wish I could take them all. Knowing my luck, I'd still wake up. I'm not going to take them all for the record. I'm sorry Vlogmas has been rubbish.